11 tips for a blissful Christmas. What I mean is that if you want to have a joyful, happy, delighting celebration, if you want to celebrate this season in peace, that the few points we're about to marshal out now must be taken very seriously. I would like you to pick your writing materials, and I would also like you to pay maximum attention as the Lord will be blessing His church this morning via His word. Number one we want to look at is contentment. Be contented with what you have. Somebody read for us 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 6. If you want to celebrate this season in joy and peace, first you must be contented with what you are having available with you now. Whatever you have not been able to achieve from January till now, please don't try to kill yourself over it. Any amount of money you have now, whatever you feel that is available with you now, please be contented with it. If you desire to celebrate this season, enjoy. Can I hear you? 1 Timothy 6:6. But godliness with contentment. Godliness with contentment is a great gain. So if you want to have a great gain in this season, as a matter of fact, the matter we are talking about here is not optional. Once you have the desire to be a happy man throughout this season, then be contented with what you have. Number two, do not borrow. Do not borrow. A lot of people borrow to celebrate Christmas. Some borrow to buy wares. Some borrow to buy rice. Some borrow to buy cow, goat, chicken. Some borrow to give out gifts. Some borrow to renovate their house. Some borrow for so many reasons. Some young guys borrow to impress their girlfriend. But the summary of what I'm saying here is that if you must have a happy celebration for this year's Christmas, do not do what? Do not borrow. There are reasons why you must not borrow. Number one, remember that after the Christmas celebration, immediately after this month, because when we're talking of Christmas, we're talking of a few days, immediately after December, as soon as you return, remember that in January, the following persons will be waiting to collect something from you. Number one, your children's school fees. No proprietors or school will ask you to forget about your children's school fees because you are just coming back from Christmas. Those of them in higher institutions will go back to school. Those of them in junior classes, secondary school, primary school, will go back to school. Remember that school fees await you immediately after Christmas. Number 2, remember that your house rent will be renewed as soon as you come back from Christmas. For those of us that are not yet landlords, landlord who must have exhausted his own money will knock at your door. I'm telling you the truth. So while you spend, remember children's school fees. While you spend, remember house rent, renewal of your house rent immediately after Christmas. Let's look at few passages from the scriptures. Why you should not borrow, why you should eschew it, as a matter of fact, with every seriousness. People make that mistake. I know that people usually say it. It has become a normal language where people tell you that January is usually rough. Some will say that January is hard. Some will say that there is no money in January. The question is there any cankerworm that eats up money in January that doesn't eat in other months? Is there any caterpillar that devours money in January that doesn't eat in other months? Am I talking to church here? Is there any? Have you found any? Have you found any? No, sir. Is it that God hates mankind in January? Or at the beginning of the year, God locks up the floodgates so that there are no supplies? Is it so? Why is it that people complain that January is rough? Immediately we return after Christmas now. Meet anybody and say, can I get 1,000 from you? Say, my brother, if I tell you, you will not understand. What will I not understand? The reason is that you have gathered all you labor for the year and you have spent all in December. Some have even gone the extent of borrowing in December, forgetting that Christmas has been, it was before you were born. Christmas will remain, you will die and go. And can I tell you that there's no kind of clothes, car you are going to buy, house you are going to build. There's nothing you are going to do in December that other people will have not seen in the years past. There is no material you will go to market to buy that people have not been wearing. So you must be very, very careful with the matter we are talking about this morning. Never borrow to celebrate this season. Somebody read for me Proverbs chapter 22 verse 7. Proverbs 22 verse 7. Proverbs 22 verse 7.
The rich ruleth over the poor.
Okay, take it easy, sir. The rich ruleth over the poor.
The borrower is the servant to the lender.
The borrower is the servant to the lender. That is actually the point I'm looking for. The rich ruleth over the poor. That one is true. That one is true. No matter how intelligent a man is, if you are intelligent, exposed, have all qualifications on earth, but you are poor. A man who did not see the four walls of any university, but is swimming in money, controls you. With your big grammar, he controls you. You know why? He is more connected than yourself. People, as a matter of fact, nobody will be interested in your grammar, but people will be interested in your solution. The rich ruleth over the poor. And the main point we are looking at, a borrower is what to who? A servant. So if you borrow to celebrate Christmas, remember that you are just indirectly getting yourself entangled. Because surely the one you are owing will definitely come to draw you. And as long as you are a debtor, you are a slave. As long as you are a debtor, you are a slave. And that is why the Bible has warned the church seriously to eschew borrowing. If you are a child of God who has inculcated the habit of borrowing, then you don't belong to the kingdom where we talk about. Because borrowing is like bribe. It shuts up a man's mouth. It weakens a wise man. Anybody can embarrass you. Anybody can talk to you anyhow as long as you are a debtor. So just do all you can to ensure that in this season you will not borrow, not even a kobo. Anything you cannot meet up with the available resources in your hand, please pretend as if that doesn't exist. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Number 3, we are going to be very fast so that let's see if we will be able to exhaust them. Number 3, never spend to impress anybody. Never spend to impress anybody. If you are a man and honestly the money is not available at the moment, please call your wife, discuss it with her, she will understand. And if you are a wife and your husband explains the season to you with every sincerity, please understand. As a matter of fact, if by the 25th of this month, few days from today, if by that day you discover that you cannot afford one chicken, please buy ice fish, cook your stew. 25th is like every other day. A bag of rice now in the market is 30-something thousand, above so many persons' salaries. So don't make the mistake of trying to impress anybody. But what if visitors visit us and they discover that a whole 25 we didn't cook rice? This man is a wicked man. No, you are trying to tear your family apart. If sincerely you cannot meet up, please manage with what you have. There are other Christmas to celebrate. Am I talking to somebody here? Yes, sir. So don't put yourself into unnecessary pressure. Don't tell him, the man, that you must buy me Christmas wares. Else we tear this house apart. Don't tear your marriage apart. After all, you are not the celebrant. You are only celebrating another person. You have celebrated your own birthday. This is not your birthday. Are we together? Yes. So don't fight over anything and don't quarrel over anything. Do all you can to ensure that you are happy with the little you have this season. Manage with it. Young boys, this is the time some of you hook up for 2 weeks, and after Christmas the relationship is over. Be careful how you go about your spending. Yeah, it's true. You know, there's a funny thing we see in the church. Some of them here, if you